What's happening, Hardscapers? Let's talk about why I always use semi-permeable resin-based jointing compounds sometimes. Let's get into this. When it comes to the jointing process of installing interlocking concrete pavement, you do have a handful of options. Now, typically in the past, what we're installing is a polymeric sand. This is a sand that gets swept into the joints and then is consolidated down to the bottom of the joint, which is incredibly important for the sand. Otherwise, the larger particles of the sand get trapped on the way down and it chokes out the rest of the sand to get down to the bottom of the joint, which causes failure over time. So you do have to compact that sand down to the bottom of the joint and then continue to sweep and compact until you're 1/8 of an inch from the top of the paver or the bottom of the chamfer at the top of the paver. Now, polymeric sand is pretty good, and I say pretty good because there are some situations where it is not going to hold up so well. And we talk about this on this channel, the situations where polymeric sand may or may not work so well. Typically, if it's an open area, sun gets to the patio, it's going to hold up fairly well over the years. But where there's a lot of shade or the patio doesn't get a whole lot of sun throughout the day, or there's a lot of vegetation overhead, this is where that sand is going to pick up a lot of organic materials. It's not going to have a whole lot of time to dry out in the sun if it doesn't get a lot of sun exposure. And this is where maintenance is going to be incredibly important to get those organic materials off the surface, but still you have that moisture problem, and eventually this sand will degrade over time. But the benefits to polymeric sand is that it's going to seal up those joints really nicely, especially when it's installed properly. It's going to prevent insects, it's going to prevent weeds, but I say prevent, not eliminate. But when not installed properly and following the instructions of that polymeric sand, especially in that watering process where you're activating the polymers, there's a lot of things that can go wrong with polymeric sand, and it has caused a lot of frustrations in the hardscape industry. Anybody that's been in the business long enough knows that they're going to have that polymeric sand failure on a job, and it is a pain. But in my opinion, it's still better than the old school way of installing loose jointing sand, because this is going to bring with it weeds, insects, washout with rain, and you're continuously having to upkeep this and a lot more maintenance with it. Now, you can apply a joint stabilizing sealer that will seal in those joints and prevent that washout, prevent the weeds and insects, but it's just another step in that entire process that is very tedious. So polymeric sand has really replaced old school way of installing a jointing sand for your patio. Another option for a permeable application is installing a clean chipped stone, but once again, getting back into the actual maintenance of that, ensuring the permeability, preventing insects, weeds, it's not going to hold up so well. But there is one option out there that I really like. Having used it for the past 5 years or so, it holds up well. There's much less instructions to follow in that installation process. You're not worried about polymeric sand haze on the surface of the stone. You're not worried about the environmental conditions. You're not worried about who's installing it, how it's going to be installed. It just eliminates a lot of problems that polymeric sand has in the instructions and following them to the T. And this is a resin-based semi-permeable jointing compound that's installed wet. There's now several of them available on the market, and this is the product that I try to include in my quotes on paver installations as much as possible. Now, I like to use it in certain applications because it is about 3 times the price of polymeric sand in the material cost, and it takes about 2.5 times longer to install for the labor cost. So it is a premium product when compared to polymeric sand, but it's going to be semi-permeable. So it's going to allow water to flow through those joints, so you're not as worried of that slope on your patio. We still apply a 1/8 of an inch per foot slope, which is the minimum, but we're not so concerned about that 1/4 inch per foot slope, which is the maximum for a paver patio, which if we're installing a polymeric sand joint and we're using a textured stone that's going to hold on to water in low points, we'll apply that 1/4 of an inch per foot slope. But if it's a smooth paver, polymeric sand in the joints, we'll opt for that 1/8 of an inch per foot slope. So it's a lot more comfortable to have a table on, chairs. So using this semi-permeable jointing compound, we're always going to opt for that 1/8 of an inch per foot slope because those joints allow water to flow through them. Now, applications that we're going to be installing this is dependent on our base type. So there's 4 different options for installing a base for pavers. One is the traditional route where we're going to use a dense graded aggregate. This is a 3/4 inch minus down to fines for our base. Granular A gravel. There's lots of different words for it, but it's a dense graded base. It has those fines, that sand in it. And then on top, we're typically still going to use our 1/4 inch clean chip or HPB, high performance bedding. But the more traditional route would be to use a concrete sand. And we do have videos on all of these different topics down in our description if you want to learn more, including polymeric sand, problems with installing polymeric sand, how to install this semi-permeable jointing compound, these different base types and different aggregates. We have videos on every single one if you want to learn more. But that is a dense graded base, and we're not going to use this semi-permeable jointing compound on this dense graded base. Now, I have seen manufacturers say that you can. I still prefer not to, just because with these dense graded base materials, they have sand in them. They're not as permeable, so they're going to hold onto that water for longer than other base materials. And anytime you're introducing water into something with sand, there's the possibility for washout. Another base material that we typically don't install unless it's already existing and in good shape, but we wouldn't install this semi-permeable jointing compound, is with a concrete base. So once again, it's not going to be permeable, so we don't want to install this and introduce water into that system. But there's 2 base materials that we will install this semi-permeable jointing compound. That is an open graded base. So we're going to be using a 3/4 inch clean clear, that means no fines in it, as our base. And on top of that, our 1/4 inch or 3/8 inch clean chip. So this base has no fines, no sand, minimal possibility for washout, so we're okay with introducing water into this system. Now, if you're building this on clay, you might want to have some sort of outlet to outlet that water to, so that's not sitting in the base, but you're always sloping your subsoil in that excavation away from any foundations anyways, so that water is getting away from any structures. And we're installing this base about 90% of projects. Pavers, retaining walls, but it does depend on the application. Sometimes we're still installing dense graded base. Once again, link in the description below if you want to learn where to use which base type. And then the 4th base type where we're going to use this semi-permeable jointing compound is in our synthetic bases. These are high density polypropylene sheets that get laid out, spreads out the load over a wider area for your patio, and it insulates. And underneath that is a 1-inch layer of clean chip. Now, we're only using these in tight access situations because it minimizes our excavation by more than 50%. So we're only using this in certain situations. But this jointing compound does work on these panels. The joints just don't drain as much, so you'll still get those joints fill up during a heavy rainstorm. So you still want to apply perhaps a 1/4 inch per foot slope, much like you would when you're installing polymeric sand, depending on the application. There are drainage holes in these panels, so they do allow water through, but not as much as an open graded base would. When it comes to installing this product, it's fairly straightforward, just very tedious and very time consuming. What we do is we wet the entire surface, make sure that there's water everywhere, open the bag, pour it out, and immediately introduce water onto the material. We are installing this material wet, so introduce water, lots of water. That water is going to suck into the base and bring that material down to the bottom of the joint with it. So we just repeat this through the entire area, squeegeeing or brooming that material around and into the joints. Typically, you still want to add some water to those joints just to make sure that it has gone all the way down, because it will get stuck at some points and not work its way all the way down to the bottom of the joint. So lots of water in this installation. Once you're done, I go through the job site one more time, introduce water everywhere, make sure that there's no material still getting sucked down to that bottom of the joint. And once that's done, we return the next day, or sometimes at the end of the day, and tool the joints. Because when you're installing this material, those joints might be wavy, there might be some ups and downs, and you still want it to be 1/8 inch below the top of the paver or the bottom of the chamfer. So we use a tool that just scrapes away any high points in this material, makes it look uniform, makes it look beautiful, and that is the installation of this material. No wondering if you watered it enough or added too much water like polymeric sand. No problems with hazing, which is like a white cloudy residue on the surface of your pavers if you do not blow off the entirety of the polymeric sand. You can install this material in the rain, so you can pretty much install it whenever you want. Just be careful with heavy downpours immediately after, about 24 hours after installing it, or check with the manufacturer's instructions on that. And then when it comes to maintaining this product, if there are a lot of organic materials overhead, trees, bushes, you will have to pressure wash it to remove any organic material off the joints so that you still have the permeability of those joints. But I've pressure washed this stuff right on the joint. It doesn't blow out or anything. It's a lot easier to upkeep compared to polymeric sand. I really like this product. I try to let my clients know about using it and that it is a premium product, so we're gonna price it accordingly. But with our oldest project using this being 5 years old, I really like the way it's held up. I really like that it is permeable, semi-permeable. So our clients really like the fact that we're not putting an aggressive slope on their patio for their tables, chairs, and whatever they're doing on that patio. And that is why I always install this product sometimes as a jointing material for interlocking concrete pavement.